So why is it so important in the journey of healing to be able to fully feel our emotions?
Well, your emotions are everything. We often describe ourselves as spiritual beings having a human experience. But here's what's often not understood, is that you are spiritual beings having a human experience through your emotional experience. Your emotions are everything. Your emotions are the way in which you are experiencing life. And when you are muted from your emotions, you're not fully living. You're not fully present. There's an emptiness, a numbness, a distancing. And so your feelings, your emotions are everything.
Yeah. And the emotions, when they've been unfelt, they literally become like a dense energy that is held in your body. And we're not able to fully bring our higher selves into our bodies. We're not really able to be fully connected to our divine essences when we have these blocks almost of ancient emotions within us. So I think what we've been used to is denying and suppressing these emotions because it's easier in the moment just to not feel them. It's easier to distract and to numb, to look the other way, to project, to go shopping, to eat or drink something. But that just keeps you at a level of merely coping with life. And you can't heal when you're in that stage of just coping with life, right? I've heard so many people say, I believe that if I fully dive into that space, I won't be able to stop. Like, I'm just going to never stop crying, or I'm going to become such an angry person, and I don't want to be that. So what advice would you give to people who they want to heal, but they're actually feeling some resistance or fear around going into that journey of allowing themselves to feel more?
Well, we're referring to one aspect of your emotions, which is what is trapped within you to feel. And so if we touch upon that for a moment, this is to imagine yourself as an immense mountain, and contained within this mountain are ancient experiences from this lifetime and others. And these experiences that are contained within it, many of them are as yet unresolved, unhealed, unfinished, unattended to. Experiences in which our emotions were not always free to fully express, and no resolution was achieved, and wounding was held on to. And so within this mountain is all of this emotional energy that has been contained. But energy is not meant to be contained. Energy is in all moments meant to be fully liberated. Our true nature is not a nature in which we are enclosed. It is a nature in which we are open. And so to see this as a mountain that is becoming a volcano as a result of the inability for this mountain to be able to release all that is pent up. And so sometimes this overwhelm that you're describing is the experience of all of this hidden, denied, and suppressed emotion that hasn't yet had the opportunity to begin to be released. And so the very first step to address this in a way that can feel safe is to notice. It is often simply in the noticing of what you are feeling, in the validating of that which you are feeling, that the greatest impact can be had. The second piece of this is to not be attached to the stories behind the emotions and not have a need either to dig for them or to focus upon them, but rather to simply honor the emotion itself as an experience that deserves to be validated. And so you are with the emotion rather than with the story that is behind the emotion. And these two tasks alone can be a significant step forward to begin to free you to access what is trapped within.
Yeah. So notice and don't attach to the emotion. And then the third piece, the next piece is obviously feeling the emotion, right?
Life can perfectly trigger for you, very subtly or sometimes very profoundly, an experience that then does awaken within you a feeling or an emotion that you are there to then recognize. And then it can be very meaningful to be able to allow and to support the movement of that emotion. Years ago in my healing journey, if I would feel a rising sadness within me, I would not simply trust that I was allowing the fullness of it to rise, but I would recognize this has been with me for a time. And I would then devote myself. Sometimes I would take my weekends and I would watch very sad movies, and I would watch them on repeat as a tool for enabling me to access more and more of that deep emotion of sadness and grief.
So were you already feeling sad and then you watched
Correct.
the films?
And that's what you are referring to, which is allowing life to bring you, to serve to you what is next ready to be examined, healed, and released from within you.
So what are the main things you would say that stop this process happening?
I think it's an understanding of who you are. You are not meant to live in this way. You are not a victim to the circumstances of your life. The circumstances of your life are a journey that has been perfectly laid out for you to discover yourself. And there is nothing in life that is to be judged. Life is to be experienced. But the key is to never forget that you're on a journey of freedom. You're on a journey of awakening to a new reality. You're on a journey of discovering that you are more than humanity at large and you as an individual have perceived yourselves to be. That you are an awakening divinity. You are an awakening consciousness that has come forth into this world to experience life in that awakened state. And everything that you have been through has been a journey of learning how to be in the physical, to operate within the dynamic and the dimensions of the physical, and then ultimately from that place to integrate all of that wisdom and bring forward your true essence. Your emotions fundamentally are not just what we have been describing as what you feel and your feelings. That is one half of it. The other half of it is your emotions are the way that you express your life force in this world. And so if there are any blockages in your ability to emote, there are blockages in your ability to be fully embodied. And so clearing those pipes, clearing the channels within us, the blockages within us, the shadows within us, the concrete that has formed, the sediment that has been locked within us is a crucial first step. And then to liberate our feelings, our emotions, those blockages, the unresolved parts of our experience from times past, and of course the beliefs and patterns that have formed as a result of these, that is what then liberates us to be pure and free and expressive in every moment. And so never forget that your emotions are as much about what you feel as they are about how you express in this world. And your true essence cannot be fully embodied and expressed without the cleansing first.
Yeah, so for those of us who are intentionally and consciously on our path of evolution, which means embodying more and more of your higher self, your divine self, into your human body, that means like acknowledging that that is the journey that we are on. And in order to embody more of my higher self, I need to become a master at feeling my emotions. It really is about emotional mastery, and it can actually become something that feels divine and sacred and beautiful even sometimes. So even if you can reframe it and think sometimes even allowing my anger to rise is a beautiful and sacred process, I think that can be such a game changer for this journey of healing and expansion.
There is no emotion that is not sacred. It is the way that we are often experiencing our emotions that comes forward in a distorted way because of the shadows within that create distorted filters to our expression. And so that is when you see distorted anger or distorted fear or shame even, you see, or even distorted love that carries with it aspects of an unhealthy expression. But when you are free in this way that Joanna describes, then there is no emotion that is not sacred. Your anger is simply that which is between you and your true strength or your true power. For you are powerful beings. We are the very extension of the divine. And if the divine has the capacity to create universes, well then who are we? But to be able to integrate that true power in a way that is healthy and uplifting, which is what this evolution of humanity is about, we are first to resolve all of the distortion within us. Otherwise, what we create is distortion. This is the time in which we are here to resolve all of the woundings of old, all of the shadows of old, all of the beliefs of old and patterns of old that deny us the experience of our true nature, our true essence. And when we can clean and prepare ourselves in this way, we become those pure instruments of awakened brilliance.